Welcome to Archelos Lagoon Mystic. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, I like this a lot. This is very open. Yeah, this is a very nice opening hand. We're going to keep on this one. And Magic Online recently updated, so they got rid of all of my stops. We'll do that here in a second. Let's go and lead off with, I think at this point, we'll just go and lead off with Tropical Island that keeps us open on Mystical Tutor. And then anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. And that hit our hotkeys. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and, oh, there we go. We drawn to 3 visits, which is a beautiful option. Let's go for Drowned Catacomb. Let's go for 3 visits. Yeah, I do apologize for the Magic Online updated, and whenever they update, they strip you of all the controls that you've had. And so all my hotkeys, everything that I've had set up that helps the production process or the back-end process be handled very smoothly has been a little bit hard. So let's go and grab a Triome. That way we have all the mana that we may need, and we will pass the turn. I think that's, yeah, we'll figure it out. But yes, welcome to some Archelos. We'll cover Archelos in just a second. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go for Swamp. Since our opponent is shields down and we're playing against Izzet, I really like kind of going for Archelos. I think that's going to be a pretty good bet. So let's tap down Archelos. It's going to tap down for blue. We'll get Archelos down, and then I'm almost done putting all of my stops on here. There we go. Okay, there we go. I've got it somewhat assembled. I'll get it fixed for the rest of the videos. But yes, welcome finally to some Archelos. Sorry for those a little bit of setting up. And there we go. Let's go ahead and click. Okay, got our hotkeys set up. All right, we're doing very good. So let's go ahead and go for Cryptolith Right. Yeah, I like that because that's going to give us access to having our opponent's stuff come into play tapped, and it still keeps us open on Mystical Tutor. So I'm not going to swing in for 2. No, we're going to leave Archelos up. I mean, I guess technically we could, but I like kind of leaving that mana up. So anything else past the turn. We're playing Archelos, Lagoon Mystic. As Archelos, as long as Archelos is tapped, other permanents enter the battlefield tapped. Then as long as Archelos is untapped, other permanents enter the battlefield untapped. Playing its Dalakos, Crafter of Wonders, and that's going to be Lightning Greaves. Yeah, we're cool with that. Tap, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Spend this mana to only cast artifact spells or activate abilities. Let's go ahead and tap down for blue. And do we want to end up going Mystical Tutor on? Yeah, let's go and jam this real quick. And let's get this popped out. Now, we could end up going for some spot removal. I think at this point, we just end up grabbing a Scape Shift. I think that's going to be a very good option for us. So let's do that. Let's go and grab Scape Shift. That's going to keep us open. We want to grab some sort of win condition with Archelos, and Scape Shift is definitely one of those win conditions for the deck, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So let's get that passed around. But yes, tap, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool, only spending on artifact spells or activated abilities of artifacts. And yeah, sure, go for it. And then equipped creatures you control have flying and haste. So we're going to be able to stop old Dalakos from swinging in. That is going to be okay because we do have Scape Shift, which is going to give us a very good option. If we want to end up going for Eternal Witness on 3 visits to kind of get our land count up, we might end up doing that. It's going to be Eternal Witness, 3 visits. I mean, because we're looking at a Scape Shift for Field of the Dead, kind of somewhere in that range. I think we're okay with that at this point right now, so let's do that. Let's go green, tap down green. Let's have Eternal Witness come down. We're going to go ahead and put 3 visits, return that back to our hand, and then once we do end up tapping down Archelos, that's going to make sure that their stuff comes into play tap. So look at this beautiful alternative art Eternal Witness. I really enjoy that. We're going to go 3 visits and then tap down Archelos, get that field, that forest onto the battlefield. And that still keeps us open on going for Dark Blast, I think. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Let's go and tap down Archelos for green. And this is pretty much what you want to be doing with Archelos. You know, get down some sort of value piece like Cryptolith Right. You're not trying to lock the game down. I mean, I guess technically you are trying to lock the game down. We want to keep up Dark Blast. So let's grab ourselves Bayou. Oh, yeah, that's a bummer. A little bit of a sequencing error right there. That came into play tap because Archelos was tapped. So this is the first time I'm playing with Archelos, so I'm going to keep that in mind. But yeah, you can see the power of Archelos. Everything flows through the mystical turtle over there. We did cover both commanders. Go and give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you'd like to visit the Lagoon with Archelos, consider using my bit.ly link. If you head over to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that will allow you to get some cards on TCG Player and help support the channel at the same time. In fact, if you enjoy my content, that is one of the best ways to support the channel. Also, let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders if you want to play some Magic online. They have all of the brand new Commander Legend cards, or most of them. It's getting there. Slowly getting them in. I was able to get most of the cards I needed this morning, other than a few other ones. But yes, hit them up. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. If you go to inkgaming.com/Jolt, they'll give you 10% discount and allow you to check out some of my Mad Neon Playmat series if you want to check those out. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you are keeping score at home, which you should be, to have maximum fun. It's officially free time. Let's go. Now, what are we doing with Archelos? This is pretty much what we want to do. Other than me kind of goofing up, well, I mean, no matter how we sequenced it with that 3 visits, it was going to happen that way because we tapped down Archelos. But being able to have stuff enter the battlefield tapped, especially mana rocks, it really just slows your opponent's roll and gives you enough time to kind of go for something like Scape Shift. You know, if we grab Field of the Dead, we're going to have those zombies enter the battlefield untapped. We're going to have the Scape Shift lands. Ooh. That is going to be opposition, which is actually pretty good. I think it is time to finally end up going for Thran Dynamo. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have Thran Dynamo come down. We can end up going for opposition. And that's going to allow us to tap down like a bigger threat. Yeah, I think I kind of like doing that. So let's do this. Let's go opposition. That's going to be blue and then 1, 2. And what this is going to allow us to do is have instant speed access to Archelos. You know, this is pretty much, if you could ask for 2 cards to have with an open Archelos, opposition and Cryptolith Right really allow you to kind of control the flow of the board state. So anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent, kick it back over there. Yeah, we don't want to swing in for... I guess we could technically swing in for 2. We might want that Dark Blast mana, to be perfectly honest. So anything else, and plus having opposition up, that's going to be a little bit better. So this is what we're trying to do with Archelos, just kind of slow our opponent's roll, and then end up going for something like Scape Shift. We are running a few other win conditions in here. This is kind of like a Sultai Spellslinger deck. We do have a couple different Rise from the Tides. You have these big payoff cards that are going to get a lot of tokens on the battlefield. And one of the cool things about Empty the Pits is that whenever you empty the pits, those zombies normally enter the battlefield tapped. If you have Archelos untapped, you can go for end of turn, or let's say that your opponent's swinging in with some creatures. As long as Archelos is untapped, that's going to allow you to... Collector, yeah, that's cool. It's going to allow you to just kind of drop in a ton of zombies untapped, which is a pretty cool thing. So they're going to attach... Let's go and do this. Let's go and use opposition. Let's tap down Archelos. There we go. All right, so if they want to start putting some stuff on there, they certainly can, but at least we're going to go and tap that down. Tap down the Collector. And they're just doing normal Sultai things, just trying to draw cards, control the board state. We've got Cyclonic Rift in here, Damnation. We've got some really cheap removal. We have Snuff Out in here. Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy are really going to allow us to, just have an answer for anything. But yeah, basically, kind of the payoff is going to be our big spells. It's going to be Rise from the Tides, Army of the Damned, Empty the Pits. If you don't know, typically when you're creating a big chunk of tokens on the battlefield, especially zombie tokens, one of the drawback for these big zombie payoff spells is that they enter the battlefield tapped. That's one of the drawbacks. So one of the cool things with Archelos is using it to control the game down. And you can have these situations where you can just drop in these zombies untapped and either catch somebody snoozing or do something like that. So, all right, so we draw into Command Tower. Let's go ahead and go for Command Tower. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So unfortunately, we're just a little bit away from hitting that magic number with Scape Shift. So I think at this point... So we're not going to be able to tap down Dalakos over there. That's going to be an extra angel token. At least we can kind of keep control on the Toll Collector. We have just a proactive Torment of Hellfire we could go for. I think at this point, we're just going to wait till we hit to that magic number. Once we get to that 7 land, that's going to allow us to end up going for Scape Shift and find ourselves a nice little Field of the Dead. So anything else? We're going to pass the turn over there. So we're going to leave Eternal Witness and Archelos open. That way, if they want to start shifting some other stuff around onto the Toll Collector, or let's say they cast something trying to enter the battlefield, we can simply just kind of close the gate with Archelos and kind of control the flow of the game. We do have some good stuff in here. We got Limdul's Vault. If you're not running Limdul's Vault in a deck like this, it's beautiful. It's card advantage. It's a tutor. It's cheap. You get to lose live. Wonderful. We do have Opposition Agent in here. Okay. So with Godo, yeah, let's just go ahead and tap down Archelos. We're going to have black mana to our mana pool. Go ahead and float that that Dark Blast. So we're going to have Godo enter the battlefield tapped. That way, if they want to shift Lightning Greaves around or something like that, we can at least kind of control that. Now, one thing that we do... one of the things with Godo is I know you can go infinite with Godo with a lot of different things. Unfortunately, on the Magic Color Pie, Boros is very low on my priority, so I don't really know all the lines of play with Godo. So we'll see what they can end up going for. At the very least, if we hit the lane off the top, we're going to have a bunch of zombies on the battlefield and really kind of increase the pressure on our opponent. So they end up grabbing armor. Whenever it attacks, destroy target per... Oh, I love this. All right, so we're getting somewhere. They're going to equip that. And let's do this. So let's go ahead and tap down Toll Collector. Let's go and tap down Eternal Witness. And I guess technically they're going to be able to shift it around on something else if they want to. But if that's what they're going for, then we're going to go and tap down Toll Collector. And then they end up going for Magnetic Theft on Toll Collector. Okay. We got on that one. And I love the art on that too. That is, yeah, if you counter an opposition by throwing a weapon at one of your creatures, that is definitely the face that you're allowed to make. So they're going to be able to swing in. It has indestructible, no, excuse me, just +6/+6, and it's going to destroy target permanent. Let's see what they decide to end up going for. If they end up popping Archelos, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, they're going to tackle down opposition. So that's going to be 11 coming across, and that will end up being 6 total commander damage. Puts us down to 17. And then let's see what's left. Let's see what we got. Not losing opposition is not the worst thing in the world. And we finally hit that. So next turn, we're looking at Collector swinging in, destroy target permanent. We can actually float a pretty good chunk of mana and go for Torment of Hellfire, because it's going to tap all these down. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Let's try to go for Scape Shift, Torment of Hellfire. And so what we're going to do on this, we're going to float a ton of mana. Okay, so let's go and get these Field of the Dead triggers. Let's go and always yield to these triggers. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to tap them down just yet with Cryptolith Ripid. Oh man, that would have been amazing. All right, so we're going to need to put a bunch of zombies on the battlefield. Now, if we end up going... So we need to leave up at least 2 mana for Thespian Stage. So let's go for a Torment of Hellfire. And let's do this. So let's go. Thespian Stage becomes a copy of Dark Depths. That way we at least have a flying threat. And it's indestructible. Yes, that's going to be perfect. So we're going to make a copy of Dark Depths. Pay 2 colorless mana. That's going to be a Merit Lage token. Let's go and get that token on the battlefield. And let's tap down Breeding Pool. We've got more than enough black mana. Tap down 2 more. And that was kind of a sloppy sequencing on my part, to be perfectly honest. So let's tap down a little bit more, because we could have tapped down the other creature too. So let's go Torment of Hellfire. That's going to be 1, 2. And we're going to end up with a Torment of Hellfire for 10. So see how they want to sequence this. So they're going to have to sacrifice a few things. They discard a card. They can't sacrifice a land permanent, so we're probably going to see the token sacrifice. One of the good things is that we do have Merit Lage out there, so if they do want to swing in with the Toll Collector, at least we're going to be able to stop them from getting some stuff done on our side. But yeah, we could have got an extra Torment of Hellfire if we'd gone for Urborg. But yeah, to be perfectly honest, that was the first time I'd gone for Escape Shift, Field of the Dead, Dark Depths. Line of play. So, and let's see where this takes our opponent. It's going to put them all the way down to 3, and they keep their board state over there. So, anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over there, kick it to our opponent. So, but yeah, that's one of the cool things with Scape Shift and Archelos, is that these lands enter the battlefield untapped. So it's very much free real estate. It's a good thing to have. We'll see if they have infinite combos at this point right now with Godo. because it's going to enter the battlefield tapped. We don't have opposition anymore, so we'll see what else is in store for us. Let's see if they've got it, because we've got Merit Lage blocking on the Toll Collector, flying in haste for a 2/2 Angel. I mean, I think we can survive this. Let's just kind of see what they end up assembling on their side of the battlefield. And that's another reason why, you know, you don't necessarily have to run Dark Depths in a deck like this. I just run it in here just to have like some sort of win condition, you know, that's grabbable off of Scape Shift. And then let's see what's going to happen with this. So we've got the Merit Lage. Okay, so that's going to be the Angel token on the battlefield, and it enters the battlefield tapped. And let's reveal until they hit a land card. And we've actually got a pretty good chunk of lands in here, so let's see what sort of extra value they end up getting from Godo. Okay, so there should be +3 off of that. That's going to make it a 6/3. And they end up... the armor targets poor Archelos over there. Yep, sorry, partner. We'll send Archelos back to the command zone. And so we're at 13. So at this point right now, we almost need to... Actually, let's just end up going block on the Toll Collector, because that'll be 8 coming across. It's going to be 12. Yeah, we're good with that. Okay, so we're going to block on the Toll Collector. That's going to put us all the way down to 1. Now, they have no way to block Merit Lage token. We've got a bunch of zombies out here. Let's see what else they end up assembling, but I think... Fingers crossed, they have no more free equips from Toll Collector. I think we might be able to squeak this one out. This might end up working. But yeah, you know, that's one of the big payoffs for a deck like that. All right, there we go. Opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. We're going to be able to grab it. Like I said, maybe a little bit of sloppy play. This is like literally the first game that I'm playing with Archelos. So very much thank you to the Magic Gods for giving us Cryptolith Right and Opposition. And pretty much if you're building Archelos, one of the things that you want to, you know, have some sort of big land payoff spell. You can see where Scape Shift allowed us to power this huge Torment of Hellfire. Even if you're not running Dark Depths and Thespian Stage, simply just tossing in Field of the Dead to end up with a bunch of untapped zombies that can stop a bunch of blockers. We are running Merit Lage, so we ended up with the 20/20. You can see where even something like this, you know, we have Cryptolith Right on the battlefield. Next turn, we've got all these zombies that can tap down for a ton of mana. So, just running some sort of enter the battlefields, like, you know, even something like Splendid Reclamation. So you see if we draw into Splendid Reclamation, we're going to be able to bring all these lands back onto the battlefield untapped. Really, just utilizing some sort of advantage like that to help you win the game through sheer value is definitely a kind of a Sultai way to close it out. But anyway, consider this a great success. If we got a bunch of zombies and a Merit Lage token on the battlefield through Archelos, hey, we will certainly take that. So if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.